Hello there, it's Oscar at the Virtual Factually here. Now, if I said that Messer and Montante make a very good training combination, you might be wondering what I'm going on about. But let's just entertain the thought for a moment and have a look at these two drills, one with Montante and the other with Messer. Now, the first drill is an interpretation of Figueyredo's first simple rule, and although it's not as clean as I would like it to be, this is after 3 hours of sparring, I think it shows the general idea pretty well. It allows you to make a really big committed swing with full extension and then still end up with the blade in front of your face in a static position before you go and do the next cut. We basically see that you pull the cut through all the way until you're in some sort of an ox position with the point forward and the hilt in front of your face. Now with the Messer we see something very similar as well. So we start off in a steer, either on left or right side, and then make Obenhauer from the steer. And what we do is we pretty much pull through the Obenhau, so it's a very big, committed and powerful Obenhau, and we pull it through into the steer. And we see there's a lot of similarities between these two drills. And the question is this just coincidence or is something more serious going on here, and can we use that in training somehow? It's often said about both these weapons that you really need to have good structure and mechanics to make them work, to be able to even move them properly. And if you don't do it properly, these weapons will give you very instant feedback that you're doing it wrong. Now, the importance of structure and mechanics don't only matter for Messer and greatsword, of course. I mean, it's just as important in longsword, because doing something with good structure will work a lot better than doing it without. But what I am saying is that with longsword, your possibilities for doing it without good mechanics are a lot greater. So the baseline of strength required to ignore good mechanics is a lot lower for longsword than it would be for a Montante or a Messer. And additionally, I think that between the Messer and the greatsword, I think it's the greatsword that actually requires stuff to be mechanically sound even more than the Messer. And this can help us in many ways, because what I've noticed is that when I fence Messer, I tend to focus a lot on windings, I tend to focus a lot on using Langenart, but I do sometimes miss good opportunities when I could be making an Obenhauer, Unterhauer. And this tends to happen because I do not really feel that I can control the Oben and Unterhauer as well as I would like. This means that I run a risk of hurting my partner or opening myself up unnecessarily and getting hit. And what I found by studying Figueyredo's rules on the Montante is that I probably, instead of trying to stop the Obenhau as I'm making it, I should probably be pulling it through and into the next lager. So, for instance, I make an Obenhau and pull it into a steer, which then, being a lager, allows me to, again, attack with a winding, with a long point, or simply defend myself with a winding or a simple parry. And I think in that way that studying the greatsword has a lot to offer for people who also do other weapon systems, but especially those that require a lot of good mechanics to work in the first place, like Messer. For today, I'll stick with just this one drill and explaining why I think this drill helps a lot in improving my Messer fencing as well. And in the next coming weeks, I'll try and record and post a couple of more drills with greatsword that I think will carry over quite nicely to Messer. Anyway, I'll be signing off now. But before I do that, I would like to remind you that making videos and researching the background for them is pretty hard work. And unfortunately, YouTube isn't that friendly to our niche. Of course, we play with historical weapons, and history YouTubers don't get that much attention anyways. So if you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple of ways you can go about that. You can, of course, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, or leave a comment. Any engagement is good. If you like the video, share it with a friend. Or even, if you want to really help me out, you can decide to become a patron, and the link for that is below. There's even some very nice bonuses, like training videos and other cool stuff, so check it out. Anyway, I hope to see you all in the next video, and until then, cheers.